Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now today I want to show you everything that I do to set up my phone from start to finish. I'm going to show you how I customize my lock screen, my home screen, my display, my widgets, some of the settings that I like to change. So if you want to set up your Galaxy phone or just learn some of the things that I do, follow along and let's get started with the very first thing, and that is the lock screen. So if I take you to my lock screen, you can see that I have a little bit of customization on here. I have a few widgets. I changed my clock style. I have a countdown calendar event right here and just some of my reminders down here for the day. Now to customize your lock screen, what you want to do is just long press and hold on it. And then what it's going to do is take you into the editor. And you can see we have a few elements over here that you can tap on to change. So you can see we have the clock up here. You can go through and change the fonts, the colors. So just go ahead and select whichever one you want. Now, moving down here to the widgets, these are the widgets that come standard with the Galaxy phone, whereas these two down here are extra that you will need to install GoodLock to do, but I'll show you exactly how to do that. But first, for these widgets up here, all you need to do is tap and press on it. If you don't have a widget over here, you'll see that there's just an empty space where it says add widgets. So just tap on this and go through this and add whichever widgets that you want on your lock screen. I usually like to have my Samsung health statistics, so we can tap on it. You can see it'll go up there. Let's just maybe pick this upcoming events one. And then you can reorganize them. And once you're done, just tap on your lock screen and your widgets will be up there. Now, before I get into these custom widgets right here, I'm going to take you down here to the shortcuts because this is something that I always change on all of my phones. By default, you have your dialer here. And on this side, you have your camera shortcut. But the camera can be brought up by just double pressing the power button on most Android phones. So it's kind of redundant. So what I like to do is just tap on that shortcut. And you can see we have a few more options here. If you're on One UI 7, you're going to see all of these options that I have. If you're on One UI 6 or older, there's a few less options on here, but you still have the flashlight, which is definitely one that I always use just because I like to walk around at night looking for snacks in the fridge, and this way I don't bump into any furniture. And then on the other one, I usually leave this as the dialer, but again, if you want, you can change this to any of these other options, maybe the power saving or airplane mode. And of course, if you swipe down, you can even map these to any application on your phone. So if you want to quickly launch an app from your lock screen, you can just map that shortcut to any of your apps. And so let's say maybe I'll just do Adidas. You can see it'll save that shortcut right there and I can access it directly from my lock screen. All right, now to get these custom widgets up here, you are going to need to use GoodLock. So let's just save our settings for now. So we'll just tap done and save all the work that we've done on our lock screen for now. And now what you want to do is just unlock your phone and go to your GoodLock application. And you're going to look for the Lockstar module right there. And you can see it kind of takes us back to the same editing window as we had before, except now we can tap on the Lockstar button right there. And over here, you can see we have a few more options now. So if you want to add more widgets, you can tap App Widgets. And you can see I have the time until date widget, which is under the calendar. So if we go here, and you can see it right there. This is the countdown widget. So you can select an event from your calendar and it will show you a countdown in days until that date. And down here, I have my reminders widget. And what's really cool is you can add a whole bunch of these. There's really no limit to how many you can add. And you can resize them and they can even overlap each other. So you can see you can move these around. I can put one on top of the other. And then if I long press on it, I can edit it. I can resize it. So you can really customize this whichever way you want. Now, if you click on Lockstar, you can also change what these look like on your always on display. So this is what the always on display looks like with these widgets. And down here, another thing that I like to do sometimes is tap on this effects button. So if the wallpaper that you have on your lock screen is maybe a little bit too busy, you can actually change the effects on this to maybe something like the blur effect. And then when you hit apply, you can see that that lock screen is going to be a little bit more blurred in the background so that all of the text and widgets kind of pop out a little bit more and it just looks a little nicer. Now, once you have everything set up, we're going to hit done and it's going to save all of our settings. Now, there is one more thing on my lock screen that you might not have noticed because this is from a different GoodLock module, but you will need GoodLock as well. But you can see I have this little arrow right here. It might be hard to see with this wallpaper, but you can see it right there. And when I swipe up on it, it will show me all of my notification history directly on my lock screen. And I absolutely love this. I don't need to go digging through my settings to find my notification history. It's available to me right from the lock screen. Now, to set this up, you will need GoodLock again. So if you go to GoodLock, there's a module in here called NotiStar right there. And all you got to do is just tap on the three dots, go to your settings and enable this setting. And now you're going to get those arrows on your lock screen to check your notification history. Now you can also go down here for the notification storage period and select how long you want it to save notifications. So I have it set to 7 days, but you can even have no limit whatsoever. So it will literally save all of your notifications that you've ever gotten. but I just don't think I need that much, so I just do 7 days. And you can also change the position of those arrows, because in case you put a lot of widgets on here, it might overlap. So you can just drag this around and set it wherever you want. And then you can change the color, of course, your transparency. But once you're done, you can hit save. And then when you go to your lock screen, everything should look really nice and organized, and you have pretty much everything that you're gonna need. All right, guys, now let's get into the home screen. Now, the first thing a lot of people always ask me is about my wallpapers. Now, with the Galaxy phone, you can AI generate your own wallpaper. So if you long press on your home screen and then go to wallpaper and style, change wallpaper, and then you go down here, there's an option for create with AI. Tap on generative, and of course you can see we have a few templates in here where you can go in and you can tap on these keywords and it will generate wallpapers for you. So go through here because you can definitely get some cool wallpapers like this. But a lot of the wallpapers that I use on my phone, I get it from an application called Wallspot. So this is a free application. There is a paid tier, but I don't use the paid tier because the free wallpapers are actually really good on here. So if you're looking for a good wallpaper, go ahead and use the AI feature or that Wallspot application that I just showed you. The next thing I always do is change the app grid because that's just free real estate. So when you tap on your home screen, go to settings, you'll see an option here that says home screen grid. Now by default, out of the box, this is set to 4:6, and you can see what happens is my screen gets a little bit smaller. I can't fit as many icons and widgets, so I like to set this to as big as possible. You can see it looks a lot more roomy and a lot nicer, and I can fit a lot more things on there. Then I go back into those settings and I actually turn app labels off. This is enabled by default, and you can see what happens now is you can see the name of the applications under all of the app icons. And I like to turn this off because I think it looks a lot more clean. When you don't have those, the aesthetic of your phone just looks much nicer. Next, what I like to do is add widgets to my home screen. These are super useful just to give you some information about whatever it is that you need. And one thing I absolutely love about Galaxy phones that for some reason, not a lot of other manufacturers have baked into their OS, but it's the ability to widget stack. So you can see on my home screen, when I open it up, I'm greeted with these widgets by default. So I can see the weather, I can see my health statistics for the day, my battery, and I get my brief right there. But I can swipe on these widgets and I get another widget behind it, which is my calendar. So I can see any events that I have for the day. And I can quickly access all of these different widgets without having to clutter my phone or having to go searching for these apps and opening them up. This is definitely a really amazing way to keep your home screen looking nice and organized, but having a lot more information on there readily accessible. Now, to create a stack, all you need to do is just add a widget to your home screen. So we'll go down here. Let's say we want to add the battery widget. I know I already have one, but this is just for demonstration purposes. When I add a widget, what you can do is long press on that widget and you see an option that says create stack. And I can go ahead and add another widget in here. So we'll add maybe, let's do something from our gallery like this. And now you can see we have multiple widgets stacked on top of each other, and you can access whatever it is that you need from that one stack. Now, the last thing that I do on my home screen is you might have noticed down here that I have an extra icon. By default, you're only allowed 5 down here, but you can see that I have 6, and I can even add more on here. And again, this is really nice if you want to just keep everything really accessible from your home screen without having to go searching through your phone for any of these applications. Now, the way to add this is you are going to need Good Lock. So if we go to the Good Lock application, there is a module here called Home Up right there. If we tap on it and then go to the home screen settings right there, there's an option here that says favorites max count, and you can see mine is set to 8 and you can go all the way up to 9. I absolutely love this because again, you can have all of your favorite apps ready for you on the home screen, easily accessible as soon as you need them. All right, now let's go into the display settings and I'm going to show you some of the things that I do. Now, the very first thing you're always going to want to do as soon as you get your phone is go down to screen resolution and set it to QHD+. By default, your phone is set to Full HD+. You should already know this if you saw my first things to do video, but when you set this to QHD+, not only do you get a sharper, better looking screen, but there's a new feature on the Galaxy S25 Ultra that will enable Pro Scaler. And that's a technology that Samsung brought in from their TVs that will upscale everything that you're looking at on the phone. And this works system-wide. So no matter if you're watching videos on YouTube, shows on Netflix, looking at photos on social media, or reading anything on a website, it will use that Pro Scaler feature to make everything look even better than it should. Next, what I always do is go to the display settings and change it to dark mode if you don't have dark mode, because these are OLED displays and any pixels that are completely black are actually off entirely, and your phone is not using any battery to power that part of the display. And this is probably one of the best things that you can do for battery life. If you're somebody who really values battery life, instead of going through all the battery settings and battery optimization and enabling this and that, don't even worry about all that. Just set your phone to dark mode and you're gonna save a whole lot of battery. Now, the next thing that I always do with my display is enable the always on display. So by default, the always on display is not enabled. You can see right there, there's a toggle, but you do want to enable it because not only do I like the always on display, but I use something called screen off memos. And what that is it gives me the ability to write notes on my always on display and pin them to the always on display. So you can see right now, if I take my S Pen out, I can write something on my screen. So let's say I have a appointment at 2 p.m. I can write it down, pin this to my always on display, and then when I put my S Pen back and turn off my phone, every time that I look at my phone, I will be reminded about whatever it is that I need to do. I talk about this quite often because this is one of my most used features with the S Pen. I do this pretty much on a daily basis, whether I need to make some kind of sketches with measurements and then go buy something from the store, or just make a shopping list, or if I have an appointment, or I just need to do anything, I always write it on my always on display. And that way, anytime I pick up my phone and look at it, I'll be reminded about what it is that I need to do. Now, one of the new features that came to the Galaxy S25 series of phones with One UI 7.0 is the Now bar. And you can see what it is down. It's kind of like the dynamic island on the iPhone, where whatever you have running in the background, you'll have a little status of that on your lock screen or on your home screen or even on your always on display. But you can see I have a timer running and I have some music playing, and you can kind of just switch between those and interact with them as you like. And one other really useful feature of the Now bar is the ability to see scores down here of all of your favorite sporting events. And you do have to set that up. It's not going to work by default. And a lot of people are always asking me how they get that to work. So what you want to do is go into your settings and then scroll down to lock screen and always on display. And right there you see Now bar. There's an option here for sports from Google. This is enabled by default, but you actually have to choose which sports you want to follow. So just because this is enabled doesn't mean it's going to work. So we're going to tap onto here, and then we're going to go sports from Google settings. And now it's going to give you this little search window where you can search for teams. So let's say you want to follow any team. I'll do Toronto Maple Leafs. So just hit follow, hit finish, and that's pretty much it. Now, anytime there's a game, you're going to be able to track the scores from the Now bar. So just go through here and follow whichever teams you care about, and you should be good to go. Another feature that I love on the Galaxy phone is the ability to have your phone announce the name of the caller who's calling you and allow you to use your voice to accept or reject the call. This is super useful if you're like washing dishes or your hands are busy and you can't physically touch the phone. You can just use your phone to answer it and talk to whoever it is that you're talking to. Now, to set this up, what you first want to do is go into your phone settings right there, hit on the three dots up here, go to settings, tap on answering and ending calls, and enable this feature that says read caller names aloud. But you also want to tap into here and make sure that it's set to always rather than over Bluetooth and headphones. And now your phone will announce the name of the person who's calling you. Next, what we need to do is set up the ability to answer with our voice. So what you want to do is look for your Bixby app on your phone. This should be installed on most Samsung phones by default. If it's not, just go to the Galaxy store and install it. But what we want to do is go into the settings right there, go down here to talk to Bixby without wake up, and make sure that you enable this feature. And now anytime you get a phone call, your phone will announce the name of the caller, and you can use your voice to answer or reject the call. Now, the next thing that I like to do also has to do with phone calls, but by default what happens is if you're using your phone and somebody calls you, the call window will take over your entire screen and distract you from whatever you were doing. So if you're reading like a book or a long article on your phone, it can be a little bit distracting. But you can change the call pop-up window to make it smaller by going into your phone settings again. And down here, you'll see an option that says call display while using apps. Now, I have mine set to mini pop-up, and you can see it'll just be like this tiny little pop-up that you get on your phone versus the default one where it completely takes over your whole entire screen, which again can be a little bit annoying. So go ahead and select between small pop-up and mini pop-up, and then make sure you enable keep calls in pop-up so that after you answer the call, it stays in that little pop-up window instead of again expanding to cover your whole entire display. And that way, while you're on the call, you can continue interacting with your phone and doing whatever it is that you were doing in the background before you got the call. All right, the next thing that I always do on my Galaxy phone, and this was also part of my first things to do on your new Galaxy phone video, but it is to go into your camera, go to the video tab, and tap up here and change it from the default Full HD, which is 1080p, to UHD, which is 4K. So now anytime you shoot a video on your phone, it's going to be in 4K. 4K. And I would say that is pretty much the golden standard of today. Full HD just isn't the best quality, especially if you're going to be zooming in or maybe cropping or taking a screenshot and trying to zoom in on those photos. You're not going to get very good quality out of that. So just make sure to set it to 4K, and you can select between 30 and 60 FPS. And now you're going to be shooting in a higher resolution and have much better quality looking videos. Another thing that I like to do is make the flash on my phone brighter. So not a lot of people know you can do this, but if you go into your quick settings and then locate your flash, if you enable it and then long press on it, you can see we get a slider, and this changes the brightness of the flash. So if you drag the slider, you can see we can make it brighter or dimmer. And I like to just make this as bright as possible, just because it doesn't hurt to have more light. If you're using the flashlight, you probably need it. So I like to just max this out and get the most power out of that flashlight. So if you want to be able to see better when you're using your flashlight, definitely go ahead and enable that as well. Next, what I like to do is also in the quick settings, you see the button to rotate your screen. If you long press on it, we get a few different options in here, and I always enable lock screen. And what this allows you to do is rotate the lock screen. So you can see what will happen now is when I go to my lock screen, I can rotate it and it'll go into this horizontal mode. And when you leave it alone and you let your always on display turn on, you get this kind of like standby mode thing like they have on the iPhone, where if you put your phone on like a MagSafe charger or something and it's just staying up like this at night, you can just glimpse over quickly and see what time it is in the middle of the night. Now, there are a few more things that I like to do with my phone, but these are again good lock related. And honestly, with good lock, I can make a whole separate video, and I am going to work on that because I do want to show you guys what I do. But a few things that I like to do is also enable one hand operation plus. And what that allows me to do is create swipe actions. So you can see if I swipe down diagonally, it'll take a screenshot. If I swipe down diagonally and hold, it'll start a screen recording. If I swipe up diagonally, it'll take me to the Play Store. If I swipe up and hold, it'll take me to the Galaxy Store. And you can of course do this from the other side as well. You can map all sorts of actions to any of these swipes, and it goes really well with the whole theme of being able to do pretty much everything that you need to do on your phone from your home screen without having to swipe around or search for any applications or go into your quick panel to start a screen recording. I can pretty much access and do 99% of the things that I need to do on a daily basis right from the lock screen. So I will be making a separate video of all of my favorite good lock features and settings that I think everybody should enable. So definitely subscribe and be on the lookout for that video in the future. That's going to do it for this video of all the things that I do on my Galaxy phone from start to finish. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if there's any other cool things that you guys do with your phone. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.